Hi, I'm Pastor Sheila, and I want to bring you this week's message of hope for your week. We, in my family, there's just been a lot of tension as we try and navigate this new school year. And I've talked to some other people, and I know that feeling is a common one across the board. You know, we're living in a changing world, and it's changing daily and sometimes by the hour. And I don't think that there is a single aspect of our lives that has not been touched by this shifting culture. And it's not all due to COVID. There's a lot of currents that are changing, but it's affecting the way that we worship. I mean, this is one of our worship spaces that has changed. It's affecting the way that our kids learn. It's affecting the way that we do work. It's affecting the way that we shop. It's affecting the way that we plan our social activities. Every single part of our lives is changing, and we're having to figure out new ways to and how to adjust in everything, and it's overwhelming. Even in the way that we're thinking about how we minister and connect with people as a church has to change. And I was talking with one of our ministry partners last week, or in the last couple of weeks, and the word different came up in the conversation, and we kind of cringe at that word. We don't like different. But she was telling me about a scene that she had watched from The Chosen. It's a new video series, and I'll drop a link to this particular scene where the producers depict what it looked like when Jesus called the despised tax collector Matthew to be one of his closest disciples. He was not someone who was welcomed in that society. And the rest of Jesus' disciples that he had just called are standing around him and trying to talk Jesus out of this. And they're like, you can't do that. Like, he's different. And Jesus responds to him. He says, get used to different. We don't want to hear that. We want to go back to what's comfortable and familiar. But so much of what Jesus did when he came, he shook up the current culture. He did things in a way that was different. And the religious leaders didn't like it. For them, it was a problem. And they tried to fix the problem by getting rid of Jesus and trying to quiet him. But for so many other people who experienced what Jesus had to offer, the different way that he loved and lived out his faith, he gave them a possibility of something greater. So I want to challenge you, and the hope for this week is, as you think about things that are different and ways that we have to change, we can choose to see those things as a problem and fight them and resist them. Or we can ask God to help us see those as possibilities. What is the possibility in something that might be different from what we're used to? I'm trying to do this in small ways, even changing my work environment, trying to work in different places, different rooms in the church, going out to coffee shops, and I find that when I change my work environment, it opens up my mind and heart to possibilities that I don't get when I'm in my normal workspace. And so I want to just challenge you this week to find something small that you can change. Maybe it's a workout routine and you try something different. Something that, that's a fairly safe, like you don't have to overhaul your entire life, but just pick something small that you can make a change to and evaluate how that gives you possibilities rather than seeing things as a problem. And then start to translate that even into your faith. Being able to look at what God wants to show you in the differences, in the changes, in the adjustments, the tensions that we're facing, rather than judging those experiences as problems. Ask him to show you the possibilities and how he can take you further in your walk with him and find hope in him.